we're circling back now to Red Pill. What are your views on Red Pill? And I know we can go so fucking deep in this. We can go deep on this. And but especially content wise, it's like these podcasts have become battle. It's like, hey guys, I'm doing a panel with some fucking prostitutes. This is gonna be hilarious. We're gonna slam dunk in these bitches, and it's gonna make for some fucking wild content. Of course, it's gonna fucking happen. Now, like obviously, not every OnlyFans model is a prostitute, but that's pretty close in some
Yeah.
kind of ways. Some of them are, but it's this thing where it's like there's so much crap being said. It's so opinionated and it inspires so many comments. A lot of these comments become hate. I have posted clips of my videos of just pearly things, and she's getting a shitload of hate. Like, oh my God, she doesn't know how to do her makeup. Did she do her makeup in the dark? She has no brain cells. Oh my God, she only just fucking worked that
Smart,
out.
dude.
There's so
Anybody
much
that's
fucking
making millions, smart. That's what the average commenter doesn't understand.
Exactly. There's so much criticism going on. That's only just Pearly Fangs, and she's a creator, not an OnlyFans creator. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just struggling to understand how wild the appeal is
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how actually practical this kind of thing is.
Yeah. I think there is only one way this would have, I mean, if you look at what attracts attention and how these podcasts are formed, it totally makes sense, right? If you think about it, a lot of these podcasts are, based in Miami, is based in LA, right? Some of these podcasts are relatively big. And what types of audience does it naturally draw? Girls that want fame, status, attention, right? You're not going to get a girl that has a PhD in MIT to go on these podcasts. It doesn't make any sense, right? Like it doesn't synergize with her
I
career or
have
anything.
seen that, but at the same time, she said she had OnlyFans too. Like I have seen that a few times.
It's just there's only one way this could formulate and coalesce, which is girls who want attention, and they're usually those types of girls. And I think also for short form content, you're not going to have an intellectual debate. They're going to be wild generalizations, right? And it's designed to get views, trigger the male audience. And it's not necessarily because, like, our generation is for self development. We're actually trying to change things. I think a lot of these content creators, they're not really in the coaching business. They're just more in the AdSense and they're just trying to get virality. So it doesn't matter what they say as the things go viral and get views, right? But then the average male audience, they can't distinguish it. They're just processing what they see. And I'm sure if you're an average dude who doesn't have a lot of ambitions and you're just getting programmed by all these like red pill content, you're gonna think that, oh, every girl out there is gonna be an OnlyFans model. But like, what percentage of the like if you actually go out there and you talk to girls in a normal at a mall or whatever, like what percentage of the world are OnlyFans? Less than 1%, right? So it's just like what you see so far from reality.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I
another
mean,
piece of internet bias.
it's just one big selling of cope, right? Like it's all it is. I agree. Like it's basically a bunch of guys that have been hurt by women that go on a podcast and talk into in front of a mic about how women suck. There's a bunch of guys that have been rejected by women that see this and say, yeah, you know what, women do suck. And then basically, I guess their message is women suck because they're super entitled and have crazy expectations. And so then they bring on like three women that are super entitled and have crazy expectations. And then they're like, yeah, see what we're talking about. I agree. It's just a selection bias here. They reinforce their beliefs. It's a way that they can all circle jerk each other and tell each other, see how women suck. Like there's never been I must admit, I haven't watched a lot of like hours of content of Red Pill, but it feels like there's never actually any good advice, right? The only ever advice I hear from these guys are like make some money and women suck. There's never any, this is how you have amazing relationships. There's never any, this is how you grow, develop, and learn. It's not like this is how you display yourself and build attraction with women. It's never like, there's never any actually practical advice. And the thing is, people don't want to hear it. Like, we know this. Like, if you're going to do a video on YouTube that is about some drama in the community, or you do a video about how women suck, or you like put a girl up, as Mike said, on a short clip about how, you know, she's fucking stupid and dumb and she's like super entitled, that is going to get 10x the views about a video that is like, look, this is actually how you go out and show a set of behaviors that'll build attraction with women, right? It's just guys prefer to either cope or be entertained than they do to learn. Which, you know, it's kind of sad. But if you're the guy out there that's like, hey, you know what? I'm watching this video on actually how to get better, and I'm going to ignore a little bit of the entertainment shit. In 10 years' time, you're going to be in a relationship that you've chosen, that you want to be in, whether it's exclusive or open or however you want to run it. You're going to be in a much better position than a guy in 10 years from now that is still unhappy and mad, but is watching some Copestream about how women are entitled and are on OnlyFans or some shit.
Also, if your podcast is based in Brickell, Miami, you're already like out of touch with reality, you know. I think dating is very, you know, it's race specific, it's geography specific, it's socioeconomic specific, it's education specific. There's no one size fits all, right? So yeah, if you're on a podcast, you're a black multimillionaire living in the richest areas of Miami. And that's just, and you're driving a Lambo. It's not representative to like Boise, Idaho, some Mormon girl who goes to church. That's not, you know what I mean? It's just not applicable. Or some Asian girl that's studying microbiology in like University of Washington. Like, it's not, it's just like, it's so not representative. So I think people need to realize that, like, what's your end goal in dating? Like, whatever you want, it's out there, right? If you want a wholesome traditional girl, it's out there. If you want a girl that's a bookworm, it's kind of nerdy, it's out there. You just gotta go to different environments. I think people need to realize that there's a different strategy to chasing different types of, to acquiring different types of girls. And in my opinion, you should follow advice of people that are in that space, right? Maybe if you want to date nerdy girls, you hire a dating coach that like is kind of a nerd, you know, and not some dudes in Miami.
Do you know what's crazy though? Like, I spent, it's probably like 2 months, not last year, the year before, coaching in Miami. So we did a lot of day game in Brickell. And there's like a lot of just normal women, right? Like, even there, to be honest, I like, you don't, even when I was there, I didn't get the perception of what these guys like spitting out. They're like, every girl's this like gold digging, plastic surgery, blah, blah, blah. Like, even in Miami Brickell, a lot of women I met there were just like normal, chill girls. Like, it's just, to me, it's crazy. Like, I agree. If the type of girl you want to find, you should be looking for. And if there's a coach that can specifically help you with that, that's amazing. But yeah, for me, it's like the persona that they've like created here, and the perception they've created, like every girl is some Dubai traveling sugar baby or something, even in Brickell. That's like not the majority. So there's like, no matter where you are, you just need to learn the skills, right? You just need to learn the skills, and you can find cool women, right? It's not like every girl is like that. So yeah.
It's not like every girl is going to Dubai and getting shit put in their mouth or whatever the fuck is
Yeah,
going on.
I think quality girls is going to be exceptionally rare, right? Like, that's the point. Like, you talk to 1,000 women. At the end of the day, let's just say you want one real long-term relationship, right? It's like, let's say you're going to marry one girl. You should talk to thousands of women. Like, why wouldn't you, right? Like, that girl is going to impact your mental health, your career, your finances, your well-being, everything. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, doesn't make sense to talk to 3 girls and pick a wife, right? Like, you should be talking to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 girls. Why wouldn't you? Like, because you just got to get one right, right? So I was watching Alex Ramosi. It's like, that's the right way to do it. And I think a lot of guys make the mistake is they don't put in the upfront work, right? They kind of latch onto the first girl or the second girl that interacts with them, and statistically, that's not going to be the best likely fit, right? So, so if you're looking at volumes, if I'm going to pick the highest quality girl that's aligned with me, out of 1,000 women, then you know you're pushing odds in your favor. Because I think it's not just the girl that's well adjusted. I think just like lifestyle habits, education, the way they invest and take care of their finances, those all play a part. So I think I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think
No, yeah, I
it's
agree
just
with you here,
there's
man.
yeah. If you want an exceptional woman, it's rare, right? And it goes back to it's not even a woman thing. It's all people. I think exceptional women, exceptional guys, they're both going to be rare. And I think as as men, as we work on ourselves, as we become more and more rare, I think it's important to also like find an equal caliber girl, right? I think that's why um, you know, if you look at celebrities, rich people, they kind of all just hang out with each other, and they're not they're not randomly dispersed, right? You're gonna have to go to specific areas to target the girls that you ultimately. They're just not randomly hanging about, right? You want a smart PhD girl, you're not gonna find it at the mall, or very low probability.
So
Not
if you
saying
guys have your own types, whatever they are, where do you go for your preferred types?
I think that's gonna, for me, that's gonna change over time. And also, like, to be honest, um, I think you can find your type regardless of what it is, unless it's like hyper specific in a lot of different situations. Like, I think you can go to the club and still find the girl that is like slightly introverted, likes reading books, and likes staying at home. Now, are you better off finding that girl at the library? Maybe, but then there's like also less volume with the library. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of of the belief that yeah, if you can like pick like maybe you're into witchcrafty girls or something and there's like some witchcraft convention, yeah, sure, go to that. But outside of these like hyper specific niches, then you can go to a club and there's so much volume there that if you meet like fucking 20 girls in the night, you're probably going to find someone that's like closer to your type out of those girls. And if you're at the grocery store and you find some girls like super cute, go approach her. She might be your type, like personality wise. So, in the opinion, like most of the places you go that are high volume, you're probably going to find girls that are your type. So that's probably what I'd lean towards. I also agree with what Mike was saying. Like there is like an optimal stoppage rule or principle where if you want to find the perfect girl and you're just looking at this like mathematically, then it's probably not going to be the first ever girl you meet, and you got nothing to compare it to, so you don't even know. So you're better off meeting a bunch of people. I think the theory is like a third of the total amount of people that you can possibly meet, and then after that, you actually know what to compare it to. You know what you like, and then say the next person that meets that standard is someone that I can decide whether I'm going to be with or not. If this is like the second girl you've ever met and she's like, I like you, then chances are she's probably not the best possible girl you can probably end up with in the long term. So yeah, I agree. Get a bunch of experience, decide after that, figure out what your actual type is because you probably have no idea what it is just yet if you're early into dating. And then yeah, you can kind of niche out and find some areas, but otherwise, honestly, high volume areas, approach a bunch of women, you're gonna find someone that's your type.
yeah, in
Yeah.
Vegas, what's cool is there's a lot of conferences and conventions. There's like doctor conferences, nurse conferences, you know, there's CES, there's tech conferences. You get a lot of female engineers. So you do get a lot of smart girls that come to Vegas. The only problem is, you know, after the weekend, they're all gone. So now you're
Oh,
just
dude.
Vegas locals, which I wouldn't say are the best.
Fucking
That's
boring
that's a
Vegas
hard
locals.
thing to do, man. Like I find in Vegas when I was there for like 3 months a few times. Dude,
uh,
every single role is fly in, fly out, right? Like
yeah.
how do you possibly have
That's
longer
why I
term
just
rotation?
work. That's why I close dudes and not girls. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
on the
fair, fair.
West Coast.
Fair call, yeah.
So
Also, I
it's
don't
like
see a lot of dating coaches. Like, I think we're good at what we practice, right? So obviously, I teach cold approach, so we're really good on the front end. I wouldn't even say my relationship game is probably the best, but like, um, I, I think some of us dating coaches are doomed to be single forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough in Vegas. Like it's because yeah, I find there's just students too. There's like some students that are like really good, as you call like the front end, like the cold approach part.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's a totally different game when it comes to like retention and relationships. Like a whole new thing you have to learn over. And yeah, when I was in Vegas, man, I just found it so tough. Because I do like the retention aspect of things, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I love pulling a girl and fucking, but it's like I like to be able to like see her again and have that. And yeah, in Vegas, it was just like you fucked the girl and she's like, all right, I need to get back to my friends. I was like, wow, I feel so used. You just fucked me and you want to leave. This is wow, this is fucked up. But yeah, it felt very much like that there. Yeah, it'd be a tough place to live. But I guess yeah, if you're focusing on work and doing your thing, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Mm.
And what's interesting is when I run a lot of these international programs, when I meet a lot of girls, they see me doing all these cool shit. I'm coordinating all these photo shoots, activities. So I have all these girls, but they're like in Brazil and fucking Colombia and Thailand, and I'll see them once every year or two, and they're not even long distance relationships. They're kind of just, I don't know,
Hey,
vacation
and you
girlfriends.
should do like a girlfriend immersion. Is have like 1 week dedicated per year. Come here from
Eyeballing.
Thailand. Come in.
Fuck the visa requirements. You guys do the nomad capitalist thing, like ultimately getting multiple passports. I think that could be a play, right? And just invite
Yeah,
girls.
do the what? Sorry.
Well,
So
I'm from an international family, so like between us, we got like lots of fucking passports.
yeah, there's
It's
some
weird
places
though.
you could buy a passport for like 170K, like that St. Kitts, whatever. Yeah, you could just straight up
Oh, okay.
buy investment and maybe
Yeah,
fly girls.
there's a few
It's
places like
always
that.
those
Like
corrupt countries that will just take money
yeah,
and just like give you
Cyprus.
rights.
A few places in Europe. I know like Malta, they're pretty easy to get like a business set up there, and I think the journey to get a passport there isn't too difficult. I know Cyprus is one of the places I think where you can basically just buy one. I was lucky. I've got parents from Croatia, so I've got my Croatian passport, so that helps me out in Europe. But
Nice, beautiful
yeah,
place.
there are some places that you can just set up a business there, and they'll hand you over a passport.
It's like depending on where you're from, of course. I found that my wife's passport is kind of like the opposite of mine. Like she can get into Russia without a visa, but I need a visa to go to Russia. And she needs a visa for the USA. I don't. I can just fucking waltz in there. And it's like literally just the opposite. It's like Cold War map kind of visa requirements, but she's on like the other side. She's on like the enemy side based on this Cold War projection. So all you need is two kind of opposite style passports.